favorite live gay talk show.
If you like what you've seen, subscribe and click below.
It's happening
out.
You can say that a lot of ways. It's happening out. It's happening out. It's happening out. It's happening out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Jane Fonda arrested.
Series of demonstrations against political inaction on climate change. Plans?
Ellen and George W. Bush.
They thought, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? Didn't even notice.
Buttigieg on Hunter Biden.
Relative to the White House. I mean, here you have Hunter Biden stepping down from a position in order to...
LGBTQ plus are not voting. Seriously? It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Special guest, Renato Silva. With your host, lifestyle expert Napoleon Plays. Trans activist Aaron Phoenix. Reality TV star Chef Josie. DJ Diva Power Infinity. DC Log Cabin Republican Joe Brookman. And our moderator, Al Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, good evening, America. What a historic and exciting night for It's Happening Out. We tonight are celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Woo! And it is exciting tonight as we are broadcasting from such a historic moment for our show. We started this little show 1 year ago thinking, could we be the View for the gay community with diversity of hosts, diversity of topics, and the ability to embrace free speech and look for gay culture and gay community.
And after
that's right. And after a year, I think we're beginning to find it. First off, let me tell you about something very exciting. On Thursday, after our Wednesday show, which was historic, by the way, we have had 16 consecutive weeks over 500,000 viewers of It's Happening Out. That is amazing. Thursday night, we had an historic partnership with CNN and the HRC. You saw the HRC lead our show last Wednesday and Thursday as we brought the historic presidential town hall, first time ever for the LGBT community and all of the presidential candidates, doing a broadcast that was led off by It's Happening Out. And we traded off with our partners at the HRC and CNN all evening long. We are so thrilled to announce that the power of our pride in that broadcast, hosted in Wilton Manors, Florida, and Los Angeles, our little broadcast had 813,000 people watch the show.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And we thank you for that. We remind you we're live. Tonight's show is super complicated. I'm a little scared, to be honest with you. This is live. So I tell you in advance, we are not fake. We're not anything. We're live.
This
so
is not
anything
memorized.
could happen. It's not memorized.
We're not fake news.
That's right. Exactly. So we remind you that anything could happen, and it usually does. So stay tuned to what's going to happen. Aaron, you're going to next?
Next, I'm going to talk about how we are in, literally, in case y'all didn't know, the gayest place on planet Earth. As you can tell from, my present company. We're here in Wilton Manors. And
Really?
the
Wait, did you
beautiful
just
Fort
call me
Lauderdale,
gay?
Florida.
Right.
Did I call you gay?
We're not getting
Please.
started yet, folks. Come on, save it, save it.
Please.
Not only are we in the gayest place on planet Earth, but we're broadcasting live from my lovely little restaurant here on the Drive, Bubbles and Pearls, a premier champagne and oyster
Let's hear it
bar.
for Bubbles and Pearls.
Yes.
We love this place.
Yes.
Very chic.
Yes.
Best food.
And of course, shout out to Best Western, the host of It's Happening Out host. They really know how to treat a girl and a guy. So thank you. Thank you, Best Western.
And of course, if you guys are watching, please, please, please make sure to like, subscribe, keep engaged, share it with your friends, start a watch party. Just get involved and in the community because this is your voice for gay content in America.
How do you do that, Napoleon? How do you start a watch party?
Oh, it's very simple. You want to go to our page, facebook.com/It's Happening Out. There's a video pinned at the top.
And I think we have a video of that that we're getting ready to show. And you
I'm ready
created
to go. I'm
Napoleon.
ready to go.
Okay.
We're live, Al. Anything can happen.
Watch this, America.
When viewing our live show in your app, please click share. After clicking share, your screen should change and you can then click watch party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click start watch party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
And Joe, you're going to tell us
Okay.
about...
I want to talk to you. I'm your daddy tonight.
Oh, gosh. Is that why you were captivated when I was on screen?
That's exactly
Sorry,
right.
Being a Republican doesn't give you that right.
Oh, I already have that right. So did you subscribe? Did you share us? Did you like us? If you want to stay in touch with the community at large, events, and everything that's going on in LGBTQ, you need to share us, like us, and subscribe on YouTube. So please do it.
Exactly, and these are the reasons
Daddy
why
said
the
so.
show is grown. Our 1-year commitment is the same commitment that we had on night 1, when 69 people watched the show on night 1.
But hey, they had a good time.
Everybody get that number? Click, click. It is to search for gay culture and our commitment to gay community, and we continue to do that tonight. So let's dive right into the show. Let's begin, as we always do, with our meme of the week. And in our meme of the week, we show you funny things that are happening every week, and this week is no exception. Monica Lewinsky, you're back. And Monica says, I'm willing to take one for the team, if that's what it takes for Republicans to impeach this clown.
And all I can say is I think she already took one for the team from Bill.
I don't think anyone
saying.
would willingly go
Just
around Trump
saying.
and go down.
All right. We do a meme of the week each week, and often, I know it's hard to believe, gay America, but often Mr. Trump, President of the United States, is the subject of our memes of the week. And most of us love it. Most. All right. The next thing we always go into is the best thing of the week. Before we get into the various topics that we are talking about, we show you the best thing of the week. I bet you haven't seen this, but this is fun. Best thing of the week is a video about the Avengers. But
I
this
love the Avengers.
Avengers Assembled is a little different. Watch this, America.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
You can see as we watch this.
Yeah, you can see. These are amazing. This is a fun video. They're all just coming up on camera. They're in different ways. I don't care who any of them are. This could keep going for an hour, and I'd be pretty pleased.
Yeah, well, you're pretty easy on
Now you know, America, why I love sitting next to Napoleon, because so little fascinates him, I can just entertain myself all the way through the show. All right, that's our best thing of the week. I'm loving that. Wait, you're not Thor.
I am the god of thunder, or my favorite, dog of thunder.
Is that your natural hair color, by the way? Because you got a new haircut. I'm thinking about Thor and blonde. Is that really?
Are you telling me that you're about to rip my eye out?
No.
Is this my Ragnarok?
No,
I'm already scared.
You're not Thor.
That
All right,
escalated quickly.
let's move
There we
on.
go.
First off, let's talk about our 1-year celebration, our anniversary of It's Happening Out. A lot has happened. First off, we've laughed all this week. We were so terrible on the first night, and we thought we did so good. Let me first say, of the 6 of us, 3 of us are original. And that is Power Infinity. Congratulations, Power.
Yes.
And Napoleon Plays and Al. We thought we were the Cat's Meow the first night, didn't
I
we
was
think
the
that?
Cat's Meow.
So-
Now speak for yourself.
So
Excuse me.
is tonight
You were in the
Survivors?
back alley behind drink, and some cat was meowing
Wait,
on you.
was that
That's
your
all.
backstage casting call? Because mine was a little different from that.
I'm just wondering if tonight is Survivors and we're going to vote somebody off
Yes,
the island.
if we're going to vote somebody off, I already know where my vote is.
Aw, that's cute. We
All
already
right.
know that you are the least authority to talk about accurate voting.
Ooh, my goodness. There was thunderous applause. So when we started, we thought we were really good, didn't we? The first night we did.
Yes.
Don't go back and look. In fact, just like RuPaul season 1, you can't find us anymore. All right. So we had some interesting things happen in the year. Production has just done a tiny little snippet of some examples of what happened in this first year at It's Happening Out. Watch this.
I've always said if you need Viagra, you're probably with the wrong girl.
Mr. President.
Boop. And I was considering that one being replayed twice in slower and slower motion and deeper voice. You know, so they're like, fuck. This is the end of my presidency. I'm fucked. No? Chicken doesn't work?
Statistic you just gave us. You're basically saying in the gay community we are 3 times more likely from chemical. Literally what I said.
Well, in general.
All right. No, but
Why not do an interesting shag, marry, chop for the first time with a cast member? Let's see where this goes. Kevin Aviance and Kitty Meow and Power Infinity arguably are the same person.
You'll leave me out. Ain't no way. I ain't no way.
I will shag Power.
I'm going to shag Power, okay? Because Power is fierce, all right?
I'm definitely going to shag Power after what I just felt.
Oh, I'm not playing this game. We could just, might as well just move on. Ain't no way I'm shagging or marrying any of my sisters without a motherfucking doubt. No way.
Well, Diversity Honors is one of the premier opportunities for us to honor and acknowledge and highlight the work of people who have promoted diversity through thick and thin, in good times and when it's been not so easy.
And to have all the high school bands come out here, and to have people who are staying in their hotels waving to me from their hotel rooms. And look at coming up here now. This is amazing. It's
Blockfest is amazing every year.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
Here we go, Sluggers. Here we go. Gay softball down here in Fort Lauderdale is one of the biggest leagues of sports, but the softball league, it has like this camaraderie, it has this energy to it.
Again, I just want to point out, the Sluggers, even though they are beating the ass of the team that went to the World Series, they're still gay as all hell.
Yeah, they're beating the ass. Of course they're gay.
It was a fun year,
Well,
everybody.
that was a fun year. I have to call out first, when that camera fell over, I don't know what is more shocking, the camera falling over or how incredibly ugly those curtains and that set was. Where was production? Take your hands up.
He learned, America. In a year, he learned to keep it out of his mouth.
You know, I don't remember that ever happening. I don't remember when that camera fell over.
It happened. It happened live. And then the other thing is, it is true. Apparently, it's a fresh reminder. I have to call out two friends of the show that are here tonight. Carlos Morera, who was in that moment, and Kitty Meow, Sean Palacios.
Yes.
Sean is Power's superpower twin. And now
when the twins activate.
Yes. Now, let us come back to that moment. Who would you shag? Tell us quickly, who would you shag between Aviance and Kitty Meow?
I would jack off with a handful of razor blades. Before I have to put my sisters through any of that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I did the best I could, Sean. I know you wanted to hear it. All right. For any of you, in terms of what you just saw, any specific memories over the last year?
Well, I have to comment on when that light fell over, you guys just kept flowing like true professionals. It was like it never even happened.
I guess
that's probably why you don't remember it happening.
I was, once I'm talking, I'm so involved in myself, I cannot be bothered with it.
Either that or there was a mirror.
America, you
one or the
have
other.
no idea idea how
do not-
true that statement is, right?
Just a mirror,
This
folks.
is literally the first time I'm seeing that.
Aaron, one of the things I wanted and remember the most in the last year was when you went off on Andrew about talk to me man to man. You really raised the bar in the trans conversation.
Speak to me, man to
I
man.
thought you were going to say when I went off on you.
Aaron has not gotten off on me on camera yet, okay?
That's not true.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but that very first racism conversation, you and I had it out.
Oh, different type of I got it. We use words differently of going out.
You didn't
Getting
get
off.
my favorite one. What? My favorite one was from last Halloween. And Napoleon.
Wait,
How many times did he
let's
fall
tell that
off?
story.
Yes.
We did Wicked Manners here in South Florida. It's one of the big Halloween events in all of America. They block off 8 blocks in the heart of Wilton Manors. It's an amazing event. America, you should come to South Florida and Wilton Manors
fun.
for Halloween in 2020 because Halloween's on Friday night. It's an
Yes.
entire weekend. And we were broadcasting right on Wilton Drive. And Napoleon was sitting in the chair, and he had these gigantic boots on in this costume. He leaned forward and leaned forward and leaned forward until he was completely on his face on this event. You remember that moment?
Yeah, I don't know why Jared Curry didn't roll that one. Well, that's another one of my favorite things. The Jared Curry roll it back.
Roll it back. We have gotten the Republicans over and over on that trick, haven't we?
But I will say, I will say that on this show we've experienced our fair share of emotional moments. We have experienced our fair share of fights. Like Al always says, what happens here is live. So you see the emotions, the passion, the tear jerkers.
Yeah.
You see it all here as it's happening. Nothing is scripted.
The good, the bad,
And
the
a year later, we're still together. I mean, they pay us pretty well
Like
not
family.
to really hate each other, but
And you know, I have to say one thing, because we're getting ready to come to some of our local mayors here in South Florida in just a moment. But I have to say something really interesting. We missed Aaron on Thursday night for the CNN broadcast. But the 5 of us, and Aaron would have come too, we went to dinner Thursday night.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that we all went to dinner with no production, nothing. We went to dinner. We had a fabulous time. We all came away from it going, wow, that was really great.
Y'all waited till I was gone for a reason.
we did.
Transphobic.
Right.
Transphobic.
We did.
Wait, did you call that dinner transphobic?
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
You made a good argument.
I'm pulling out my card. Right now.
All right, you're throwing your card down. Speaking of our anniversary, we have 6 cast members as host of It's Happening Out. That's really not true. Right from the very beginning, we had 1 more cast member. And from the very first night of It's Happening Out, we said, one of our principal cast members is sitting over my shoulder right now. And that is the famous Wilton Drive in Wilton Manors, Florida, in Fort Lauderdale and Broward County and South Florida. We are the gayest place on planet Earth, and that is a cast member of It's Happening Out. And we're very proud of the gay community, the gigantic gay community here in South Florida. And in that vein, we want to welcome 2 of our honorable mayors. First, Chris Vincent is the mayor of Lauderdale by the Sea. And Lauderdale by the Sea is a beautiful beach community here in Fort Lauderdale. And the Honorable Mayor Vincent is with us. And of course, you can't see it completely, but we've played this joke many times. Directly over my shoulder, right there, I can see it as I turn my head, is City Hall in Wilton Manors. Wilton Manors is very important because we're very proud of our community, because we're one of the few places, almost no place in America, where we have a gay major city mayor, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale. You saw Mayor Dean Trentalis. We have the city mayor of Wilton Manors, Justin Flippin, who is gay, and the entire city council commission in Wilton Manors is gay. And tonight, we welcome the Honorable Justin Flippin, the mayor of Wilton Manors, with us tonight.
Woo! Yeah.
Justin, Chris, thank you being with us here tonight, celebrating the 1-year anniversary. Can you believe in your 2 communities, you were tied to CNN and the HRC Thursday night, and 800,000 people watch your communities in the gay community? How exciting is that for you?
Well, I can speak for Wilton Manors and definitely say that we are so thrilled that we are a part of history. However we make that history, the way that we're doing it together, the way that we're showing ourselves to be a community, to be reckoned with, to be recognized on a national level, and no longer just on a local level. And you've had a significant part to play in that narrative, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, and Chris, tell us a little bit about how the beach community here in Fort Lauderdale integrates with the traditional straight community and the gay community, really pretty much getting along completely here in your community.
Absolutely. Lauderdale by the Sea not only is just tucked in just between Pompano to our north and Fort Lauderdale to the south, but just Wilton Manors to the west. And it's been a great partnership and a great marriage, and we're proud to be a part of all the communities that surround Lauderdale by the Sea. I know Wilton Manors is not on the beach, but I know that Wilton Manors calls us their beach, and we appreciate that.
Exactly.
Now, wait. You've gotta love one mayor going, I'm going to kind of poke you and compliment you in the exact same vein.
Yeah.
We're the beach. We're
Thank
your
you for
beach.
softening that, Al. I appreciate it.
Next week we'll get the fighting clubs up and we'll call the boxing
Justin,
ring.
tell us, we're right in Halloween time. We're going to be talking over the next couple of weeks. Tell us about Wilton Manors and Halloween. Lots of America watching does not realize for gay community in America, this is almost ground zero for Halloween, which is our gay Christmas. Tell us a little bit about what's going to happen.
Well, I will say that in our city, if you poke a bear, you might get...
The library is open, folks.
The fact that we as a city are getting ready to celebrate one of our biggest draws, one of our biggest events. Wicked Manors is the Halloween celebration in all of Greater Wilton Manors. It's in Wilton Manors, and so many people come in to our city to celebrate, dress up, and just have one heck of a great time on Halloween. And so the way we partner with our businesses to make sure that it's successful, the Pride Center and others, it's a signature event in Wilton Manors, and we love when folks come from other cities and celebrate every holiday that you can with us, because we're an inclusive place.
All right, I'm going to have to clearly wrap this up quickly because this may be brewing into something else.
Don't do it by falling out of your chair.
Exactly. One of the things that we tell you, America, and the reason why we're so happy both of the honorable mayors are here tonight to celebrate the one-year anniversary of It's Happening Out, is South Florida is a gigantic destination, travel destination for the gay community. We have the #1 gay travel destination in the world. It's Port of Miami, cruising. The #2 destination in the world, Port Everglades, and the cruise ship industry. Stop making the jokes. Stop making the jokes.
They make themselves.
You said it. And our friend Richard Gray at the Greater Fort Lauderdale CVB is the #1 most spent on gay travel marketing of any tourism bureau in the entire world here in Broward County, where both of these mayors represent. We are very proud of the South Florida gay community, and you should come and visit. If you haven't done it, come. If you haven't done it in a while, come again.
Now's a great time. It's getting cool and perfect weather outside.
And you can always stay at the Best Western.
Yes. Right. Well, we want to thank Honorable Mayor Chris Vincent and Honorable Mayor Justin Flippin. We love our South Florida gay community, and we always say we are broadcasting with our 7th cast member, the gayest place on planet Earth. And we're really happy to partner with both of these gentlemen and our communities that sit right here in South Florida. So thank you very much for being with us.
If I can, I would be remiss if I didn't mention one thing. We just recently, and I happen to be the general contractor on the first openly gay hotel in Lauderdale by the Sea. We just got our BTR today. Partners with Andahar and Dixon Kahn out of Fort Lauderdale, along with his associates Kelly and Karina Blake, and that is on Elmar Drive.
Yes, I was going to say the news pops in, and so I'm going to stop everything. Tell us the details of the hotel.
It is the Elmar Boutique Hotel. It's a mid-century modern design that was not touched by the looks. We weren't allowed to by the son of the original architect, and everything is original, for the exception of, obviously, the terrazzo floors are original, have been repolished. The furnishing most of it was kept and refurnished and refurbished, and it's magnificent, and It's going to be a spectacular place to go. It's the Elmar Boutique Hotel on Elmar Drive.
America, I can assure you, It's Happening Out is going to bring you all kinds of details about that. Thank you very much. And Mayor,
happy anniversary.
Mayor Flippin, we love Wilton Manors, and we love this drive behind us. Congratulations to you
And we love
your
you back.
community. All right, let's thank you, gentlemen, and let's move on to a game. Let's play a game. Everybody in America knows the game we play called I'd Swallow That. Now, tonight we're playing a little bit different because we have our cocktails in front of us, and we're going to take shots of our cocktails as we do this. As you know, we are going to play I'd Swallow That. I'm going to ask a question, and in my question, if they agree, they're going to take a drink. If they don't, they're not going to take a drink. Everybody ready? Play at home with us. We are
See that one ready right there.
We are sponsored by Live Proud Vodka. We love Live Proud, and that's what we're going to do tonight.
If we want to answer the question yes, we take a drink. If we don't, we keep it sober.
Yes, exactly. All right. Here we go. I'd swallow that. Question number 1. I was terrified the first time I was on the panel at It's Happening Out.
Child, please.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, here's the thing.
I mean,
I've been on
terrified
camera.
is such a strong language, okay?
Everybody drank
Nervous?
except for me. And
I didn't
I
drink.
didn't drink.
I've been on camera a lot, but unlike the three of you that did drink, I had to start with this one, who has a legacy and a little bit of a history. So I did not know what I was getting into when I got and essentially got in bed with Al Ferguson. So I was there a year
Wait,
later.
Jared Curry, I'm going to want you to play that back over and over and over
You've
again.
been
Right?
trying that
Right?
for so long.
Right.
Yeah, nervous is
themselves
one thing. Terrified, that's a strong language.
I don't know. I was a little shook. I'm not gonna lie. I came on, late to the game, and I had big shoes to fill for sure. And Power had talked me up so much, I was afraid I wasn't gonna live up to
That's
all those
absolutely true. He was America, I'll tell you, and I've told this story before. When we said we wanted somebody to represent the trans community, Power and I had a conversation and said, if you want Michael Jackson representing the trans community, Aaron Phoenix is the person to have. I've told that story repeatedly. It turned out to be absolutely true.
It's not anything to do
and
with the
Power,
fans, no.
Power takes the credit of not that Aaron is great, but that Power recommended Aaron. That's funny.
I was never nervous, never scared. I was ready to go on day one.
Yeah.
Like Hillary.
And how about you, Joe? I met you in the bar when we were broadcasting, and it was like, wait, you're a unicorn.
Yes, I actually had gone to get my hair cut at Hush Spa that day, and we was in there and I was talking to the barber, Paul, and I talk my mind always, and we were talking politics, and Frank walked in, and he was like,
Frank Garcia.
Yes.
$10.
Frankie.
$10.
That's right. He gets $10 every time we mention his name.
Oh, I thought that was how you bought a Republican.
And he just kind of, his jaw dropped, and he goes, "Are you a Republican? Are you gay?"
And both turned out to be true.
The thing you had to learn.
Right.
So then he said, "You got to come out to the show tonight at Drink." I go, "Okay, I'll come out."
And the rest is her story.
And her story. All right, let's move on to question number 2. I'd swallow that. There are subjects I will not touch or have an opinion on publicly on this show. Really?
What?
Will you touch not touching the subjects?
Wait, did the only 2 people that took the drink is Power and Joe? Thursday night, by the way, one of the best moments was saying when we opened the show, it was really interesting. We're leading into CNN, and at one end of the dais was Joe Brookman, President, Log Cabin Republicans, all decked out in this kind of sequin shit. And he's all sequined out as the conservative, jealous. And Power Infinity is at the other end in a complete, beautiful suit and tie as the conservative drag queen. The world was coming to an end. Revelation
I was not in drag.
being implemented. Not in drag, exactly. What was it you avoid?
Well, I would avoid I would avoid publicly speaking about any subjects where my journey has not allowed me to experience it. For example, if we were to discuss when a transgender person should reveal themselves to their lovers or a trick, I've asked this question before on my own page, and just asking the question, but I would not give an opinion on that because it's not my. I don't feel it's my
not
place
your
or it's
journey.
not my.
Okay, now I understand. And what would you not talk about?
For me, it's some member of my family's that I respect and would not want to put them in a compromising position by putting them forward. When a lot of my family is in a very religious background, and there's a family and a unit and a community.
So it's out of respect.
It's out of
what you're talking about. Okay, both answers interesting. Let's move on. Question number 3. I'd swallow that. I'm glad. Oh my goodness, is this a juicy question? I'm glad a past cast member of the show has gone on to greener pastures.
We have such an odd way of phrasing.
Wait, I want to take a step.
They've moved on to something better, right? That is what it is. That they've
Okay,
gone to
and
someone.
You know what green pastures are full of?
I'm just thinking of like
Cow
of
shit.
like when
Sorry.
someone dies
No.
and your parents tell you
All
that
right.
they're off.
Who- I'm sorry, I missed it.
I just
You,
feel like-
you took the drink. I
did drink.
took it. You
because,
took it.
Because I'm thankful all those folks bowed out early on so that I could come on
Oh,
the
you
show.
took the cheat. All right, fine.
Okay, but
All right.
I have to say also, I'm really sorry those hot Latin men aren't here anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. And Napoleon?
I'm honestly a little shocked to see Andrew gone and that I miss him a little bit. His crazy made me feel so sane and on top of everything. Compared to him, I felt like the most put together person on earth.
You did look awful smart.
That wasn't a question though. The question-
Wait, thank you. Power intuitively goes, Al, redirect him. Napoleon, you reversed the question. The question said, I'm glad they're gone. Who is that?
Oh, I thought it was. Oh no, I'm not glad he's gone. You're right. I incorrectly did that. Oh my goodness.
All right.
This is why I need Andrew here, so that it wouldn't matter if I was.
You're not
correct.
glad anyone is gone that was a host of the show?
Are you here next week?
All right. Okay. I'll take that as an
I
answer.
want you here.
Final. Don't touch me, dude. The final question. I'd swallow that. Question number 4. I'm more of a giver, not a taker.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Immediate. That was an immediate. So
that was a little too enthusiastic.
I'm surprised by that. I would think that Miss Power Infinity, no one gets in the way of Miss Power Infinity. You're not going to disrespect me.
Wait, aren't we
But
talking
be
about
ready to
sex?
go. No, I'm talking about
Well, first of all, it depends on what I'm being offered and what I'm being demanded to take. But
Sometimes being demanded to take is the giving.
right. But I generally love to acquiesce, shall we say?
That was a $5 word.
And did you take the drink?
What was the
Giver
question
or
again?
taker? You're more of a giver.
yeah.
Just over here drinking.
I'm more
No, I
of a
did
giver,
drink.
not a taker.
Yeah, I took the drink. I'm more of a giver.
You're more of a giver. Okay.
I don't like to
in what
reveal so often
context?
how much me and Power
Deep throat.
Infinity have in common in the bedroom, though. So like, I was trying not to go there.
Deep throat.
But that's
Wait.
interesting. That's interesting because previously you said you'd like to be kind of the queen. You like to be pampered and the like. So I would have thought it was taker.
Like I said, sometimes the taking is the giving.
Yes, hello.
Okay, all right.
You know.
What was that chime in?
You
right there?
gay
Well,
people
anyways,
are so
it was just like
confusing.
the whole reference to being a queen and being a taker. I don't know. Maybe the feminist in me was like,
Yeah.
well, what did you really
So
mean
lots to
by that
unpack.
log cabin Republican? No, but we're not gonna go there.
Listen, I was raised in the wild by lesbians. I learned my manners, okay, early, so I understand completely.
We elect for that to be our lifestyle.
All right. Well,
And I'm just a giver in life. Like that's a choice of a lifestyle. I mean, so whether it's in the bedroom, on the streets, in my business, wherever, I choose to be a giver.
wait, did I hear basically you have no discrimination between doing it in the bedroom
That's what I heard.
or in the street
That's what I heard.
or in your
Exactly.
business? Because that's probably illegal,
that's-
Josie. And
that's true.
I don't think everybody in Bubbles and
Is it
Pearls wants to
illegal?
hear you.
But I would
don't know. I
agree
think
with
they
that.
probably heard
So,
that.
so Josie, you choose to be a giver.
Yeah.
Me, I was born this way. Hey.
Right. All right. Well, that's our game. I'd swallow that. We're going to move into celebrity hot topics, but I give production a little heads up. Remember, we're live. You're going to be putting in front of me the names of some of the additional guest interviews because we have many, but I'm going to need that from you in production. Let's move on to celebrity hot topics, and we have a number of celebrity hot topics that we want to discuss tonight. First is, can you believe Jane Fonda is in the news again? This week, the Netflix star of Frankie and Grace, got arrested
her.
at the U.S. Capitol. First off, let us show you this video about her arrest.
Fonda exercised her First Amendment rights today and was arrested on the steps of the U.S. Capitol. The actress and political activist, now 81, organized a series of demonstrations against political inaction on climate change. She plans to do this, handcuffs or not, every Friday through January. Fonda was charged today with crowding, obstructing, or incommoding, causing inconvenience.
All right, you can see in her arrest of her protest on climate change. Any thoughts about Jane Fonda?
That's called using your privilege for good.
Yes.
Okay, when you're willing to put yourself on the line and literally get arrested. I mean, that's expensive. It's a lot of paperwork to fill out to get arrested. I've heard. Okay. So she's doing it for a good reason. She's going to start a conversation. Here, we're starting it now.
I'm curious. We've never had this
Jane just needs to quit. All right.
Wait.
I'm a holdover from her Vietnam days.
1960s
She
still?
needs to fucking quit.
It's 50 years, Joe.
I'm sorry.
Get
What she
over
did
it.
over there is shameful.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about what she did over there, but I know that what she did right here, applause. And you know what else? Notice in the video when as she's getting cuffed, she is so proud. She is so proud. That's a lady that's saying, "I don't give a damn."
Well, she's raising the profile for
Okay.
climate change.
Let me provide one context to Joe's observation. Probably most of our viewers around America do not even understand Joe's point.
True.
Jane Fonda was a major anti-war protester in the 1960s, and conservative America basically never forgave her for what she did in terms of how they felt. She disrespected the military and her protest against America.
of war.
But it was 50 years ago, and I think the observation is interesting from your standpoint. But if you're interested in this, you should see and research about Jane Fonda.
If she had grabbed a man by the dick 50 years ago and bragged about it on TV, would this be enough time to forgive her for it? No.
Okay. All right. Let's move on into other celebrity hot topics, and that is DJ Fatboy Slim. He has done an amazing remix with Greta Thunberg. You remember Greta? She is the one that called out the president at the United Nations, basically shaming him for what he was doing to her generation. Fatboy Slim remakes her words into a remix. And watch this. It was quite interesting.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school. On the other side of the ocean. You all come to us young people for hope. For hope. How dare you? We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money. You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear.
Well, as you can see, Fatboy Slim will continue to show you a little of this about his amazing remix of How Dare You. What did you think
back
about
from
what
the
he
90s,
did?
apparently.
And we talked about Greta Thunberg's words, but what do you think about what Fatboy Slim did? I thought it was interesting. Anybody else?
I think that in a bigger picture, any DJ, any drag queen, any performance artist, any club personality, anybody in our club scene that uses their platform for a socially conscious, positive message really impacts our world in a great way, and hats off to him. Now, for me, I would need a tribal remix for me to play it on my dance floor, but I do give him credit for the creativity and for the stand that he took.
We'll be looking forward to your remix next for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
love it. It's not activism is not always marching in the streets with the megaphone.
right.
Art can be activism in many major ways.
Anything that you do
Absolutely.
day to day, you
I
can get
love
involved
that
with activism.
observation.
It can be built into what you're doing.
By the way, in terms of alternative ways of activism, did you know The Simpsons did it?
Oh, God.
It's interesting. We're going to show you a slide right here. The Simpsons actually predicted Greta's speech in 2007. Look at this. Doesn't he oddly resemble Donald Trump?
Yeah.
And Lisa Simpson oddly resemble Greta? We thought that the characteristics of the two were really
The
quite
Simpsons
interesting.
is known for predicting the future.
Yeah, the
all
Simpsons-
the time.
the
Trump
Simpsons
coming
ain't
down
never
the
lied.
steps,
Right.
Lady Gaga's performance at the Super Bowl.
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm starting to feel like there's a conspiracy theorist.
Okay, Simpsons, put Warren in office. Let's see you put
All right,
Warren in office.
let's move on into other celebrity hot topics. Ellen DeGeneres. Interesting conversation took place this week because she went to a Dallas Cowboys football game, and she got into the VIP suite of the owner and sat down next to George W. Bush. And wow, did she get backlash for it. And we're showing you now a little bit of video about Ellen and George W. Watch this.
It may not seem like a big deal for a celebrity to attend a football game, but I never leave my house, so it is a big deal.
Ellen and her wife, Portia de Rossi, were invited to sit in the private box of Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Former President George W. Bush and his wife, Laura, were also there.
But during the game, they showed a shot of George and me laughing together, and so people were upset. They thought, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? Didn't even notice I'm holding the brand new iPhone 11. But a lot of people were mad, and they did what people do when they're mad. They tweet, but here's one tweet that I loved. This person says, Ellen and George Bush together makes me have faith in America again.
But instead of getting into the fray on social media, Ellen used the moment to preach about civility.
Here's the thing. I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that that's okay that we're all different. When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only the people that think the same way that you do. I mean be kind to everyone. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Exactly.
Interesting take. Interesting to me because first, Ellen gets dramatic pushback just for sitting down next to President Bush. And then the response that she does, which is kind of turn the other cheek and say, wait, isn't this my obligation to propel civility in America? What do y'all think? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a personal choice. If you don't want to mess with people that you don't want to mess with, then don't. But I mean, keep that same energy when it's time to go to the box. To the box office, to the ballot, and vote. Worry about whether or not you're sitting out and not engaging in the process, or are you just criticizing what somebody else does?
I feel that the fact that she got all this backlash really shows the self entitlement that we as liberals, and I'm calling out my own party, have. To feel that we can actually tell somebody who to forgive or who to befriend. One of my friends had said, oh, well, she has to be held accountable. To who? She doesn't have to be held accountable to you, me, her, them, they, us, or anybody. It's her personal business. And if she wants to befriend or defend anybody, that is not, you might like it, you might have an opinion about it, but who are you to tell somebody who they can be friends with?
Power, I want to follow up on that observation. Now, not talking about other communities, but specifically in the gay community, why do we seem to do that to each other? What do you think is at stake and why we do that?
Well, I understand because we are hurt, we feel oppressed, and because of that is born a pain. And from that pain, it really causes us to be hyper-defensive, hypersensitive, but I think and I'm one of the ones too, I call out, I have a very sharp tongue. Everybody knows me for my nasty mouth, but even I have to take a step back sometimes and, actually say that we cannot be so sensitive. We can't, now we can't, nobody can joke about us. Everybody gets all up in arms over everything. I mean, we need to take a step back. And like Aaron said, for all those people calling out Ellen, but a lot of their friends ain't even registered to vote. You ain't saying nothing about them.
To all of you out here that are fine with Ellen and George Bush hanging out, how would you feel if it were Ellen and Trump?
Okay, I love the fact, I live for you for just saying that. And here's what I say to this. It's because of Trump that I actually now can appreciate this is going to sound weird.
Oh my gosh,
somebody
I'm going to agree with Power
somebody
Infinity. I
like
know what's
Bush.
coming.
Somebody like Bush, because Bush was a bad president, but oh my God.
Don't we long for those days?
I would live
Oh.
for a bad president in office as opposed to a bad man.
Can you
in
imagine
office.
saying that
And
in 2000?
And that is the difference. When Bush was in office, I thought there could be nobody worse than that bitch. Here came Trump saying, "Hold my beer." Now I appreciate Bush because actually, I didn't agree with Bush's policies, but Bush was a likable person. I mean, he was actually quite funny.
He's a
quite
guy you could get a
likable.
beer with.
Yeah, he was somebody you'd want to hang out with. I just
Go to
didn't
a
like
game
his
with.
policies. I thought he was
Well,
a horrible
Trump is
president.
too, but-
but
Well,
I'll
but-
take a
but-
horrible
but I-
president over a horrible man
But I think
any
it's,
day.
I think it's worth noting, though, that because we celebrated Stonewall, for 50 years, the LGBT community has been focused on inspiring people for tolerance, to have a discussion, to understand who we are. And they've pleaded for that for 50 years. And now
There is some
we're
contradiction.
entitled to be angry and hateful, exactly what you were saying.
I think there's
anger and
definitely
hate.
valid points to
And-
all of that for sure. If I can offer a counter, I know I never do that. But if I can offer a little bit of a counterpoint, I think there is also something to be said for accountability. When you've talked about why people feel hurt and why people feel oppressed. A lot of times it comes back to, do they feel that that person has been held accountable? And with Trump, he has not been held accountable, so therefore it would be a wildly different thing.
On that subject, I think accountability starts with ourselves. Before we start holding someone else accountable, we need to hold ourselves accountable to what our values are. And some of those values means we need to listen, we need to understand, we need to be respectful, we need to love one another, just exactly what Ellen was talking about. If we are unable to do that, how can we demand that of someone else? You can't hold someone else accountable if you're not doing it yourself.
I apologize, but we're valid and interesting conversation, but we have to move on. Another celebrity hot topic that I want to bring to all of your attention is about Billy Porter. It's been announced that he is being considered to be the fairy godmother in the new film adaptation of Cinderella that Sony is doing. What do y'all think about Billy Porter being the fairy godmother?
Well, the audience here seems to.
Is that a stereotype?
All
Is it,
all I can say is it should be funny, but my question is it taking the stereotype of the fairy a little
No,
bit
it's
far?
not. And here's the thing: he wasn't just cast potentially cast in the fairy role. He was also just potentially cast as the role of the plant of Audrey II in a live-action remake of Little Shop of Horrors with Lady Gaga.
What does that have to do with?
That when you're talking about stereotyping him, his acting, and this is a little bit flamboyant and over the top. He's playing a base character that's there to be fed, and it's anti-LGBT, not anti-LGBTQ, but it's definitely not gay. It's not typecasting at all.
I
Billy
thought you
Porter
were-
can do anything. For me, he can be put in any role, and it will make it more fabulous, more fun, and something that I'm definitely going to tune in for.
All right.
I honestly thought you were going down the same conversation we had about Ariel because of the color of his skin. I was like, are you going down that route? I hope we're not going there right now.
No. It literally. It was taking him and casting him as the fairy godmother,
right?
And going, okay.
I thought the headline was fake. I thought we were joking by saying that he was being cast as the fairy godmother.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Is it really cool?
And in that vein, I want to move on in terms of other celebrity hot topics. Tessa Thompson and Brie Larson had quite an encounter at Comic-Con recently that basically broke the lesbian Twitter.
By the way, everyone, they're Valkyrie from the Thor movies and Captain Marvel from Captain Marvel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We have a little piece about what happened. Watch this.
Let me text her now, actually, about that. No, I'm really looking forward to the next phase. I think it's going to be a really exciting one.
Any last words, Brie? How do I top lesbians? You know what I mean?
The newest Avenger, Brie Larson. Captain Marvel.
There you go. Brie, come.
That's my praise.
Also in this vein, we want to show you a little slide, kind of in the same thing that happened at Comic-Con about the gay couple getting engaged and the photo op with Brie. We're showing you that slide. What do y'all think about what happened with Tessa and Bree?
I have a
at
lot of
Comic-Con?
thoughts. Will somebody first please propose to me this way and some way like that? Because that is.
Well, first off, you have to
adorable.
have somebody that likes you.
I don't need that. I just need to be married. That has nothing to do with being liked, Al. Okay? I grew up in America. They are
Wait,
very
is that true for you?
No, that
is that true for you?
You must
No.
learn that from straight people.
We'll learn that off camera.
You're getting your information from the wrong
Is it
sources.
fake news? Is it fake
Totally
news?
fake news.
No, actually, what really upset me about this is that every single one of these people, including our token lesbian, said this week
Al's
that
our token lesbian.
Al, our token lesbian, folks.
Okay,
Heard it
all
here
right,
first.
all
Play
right.
it back, Jerry Curry. No, of course, for
All right,
Josie.
focus on your reaction to this.
We weren't even okay. The fact that we weren't even thinking it was important enough to have it involved because it's two lesbians. That was what was crazy to me. We almost vetoed the entire section just because it wasn't
mean
Daniel
today?
Today, because it
Oh.
wasn't Daniel Craig and Rami Malek.
America,
I think by
let me
we, you mean
provide a little context to this. At our host meeting, we have a host meeting in the afternoon. We discussed whether we were even going to have this conversation. I don't think that, at least from my perspective when we were talking about it, it wasn't because it was two lesbians. It was because this is not a very interesting story. But I hear what you're saying. Other thoughts in terms of...
It wasn't the lesbian story. The thing that spoke to me that I thought was great was the geeks proposing at Comic-Con. I just thought that was very sweet. And
Well, to
I
me,
love my
it's
geeks
look
at
how far
Comic-Con.
we've come that we can say, no big deal to something like
well,
that.
I
Remember
would-
the kiss?
That's exactly my reaction.
Yeah.
Speaking of the geeks, I would like to say I'm very, very proud to say I know these geeks. The one on his knees, his name is John Chambrone.
Wait, you know these two people?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. That is John Chambrone, who works with me on the entertainment committee for
My
Temple
gosh, I didn't know that until this second. I know
that's
John too.
Chambrone and his now fiance Richard Owen, and they are happily in love.
now-
So, on behalf of myself and all of us here at It's Happening Out,
Oh.
John, who I know you're watching, congratulations.
Fabulous, and congratulations to both of you.
And I love your Captain Marvel
Let's
shirt.
move on out of celebrity hot topics and move to Happening Now. We do Happening Now to tell you about trending news. Of course, the big trending news this week, besides the impeachment process, is the LGBT town hall that took place last Thursday. Historic. The presidential candidates talking directly to the LGBT community, streaming live from It's Happening Out and on broadcast in CNN in joint partnership with the HRC. Then last night, the largest Democratic town hall so far for the 2020 presidential election took place last night, and it was big news because Elizabeth Warren got bashed and bashed and bashed. What do you think about the breaking news here in terms of Happening Now in those two events? Any thoughts?
Well, as for those two events, for last week's forum, for me, the highlight of the forum was when the trans lady, I don't know if y'all saw this, when she grabbed the mic. She grabbed the mic in during Beto O'Rourke's little town hall, and she went off. She just let everybody know she was here, she was not here for it, and she was going to be heard.
And she was.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Other thoughts about this breaking news, especially?
Well, I thought from the debate last night, which you'll find it odd for me, but I think the big winner last night was Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
completely agree.
He annihilated Beto. He really put Beto down, and he challenged Warren to actually stop evading.
Pay for it. Yeah.
to
How
pay
are you
for it.
paying for
Stop
it?
evading
Exactly.
the question on cost.
To Joe's observation, interesting that comes from the log cabin Republican on the panel. Is it possible that the gay presidential candidate will be the middle of the road candidate, teaming with somebody else? He could be the vice presidential candidate, teamed with somebody
Well,
else.
that's the only way he
Can you see that?
I'm going to tell you
You really
now.
don't see him as president.
I'm gonna,
I don't see him as
An
president.
extremist gay president. is
I would
unlikely
love
to
it, but I
happen.
don't
I
see
do
it.
believe
He needs to be middle of the
he's
road.
going to be on the ticket.
Oh, he's
As vice
absolutely
president.
going to be
Yeah,
on.
he will
With
be on
who,
the ticket.
Joe? Who do you think?
I'm not sure at the moment who. I don't think it's going to be Warren. It's not Biden, and it's not Bernie.
I would take
So,
Warren Buttigieg, though. She could keep him in
I
check.
know it won't be Castro.
It may be Klobuchar.
It won't
Yeah.
be Castro because he's on his way out.
Yeah.
So
okay.
there's a lot of things going on with the
So-
candidates right now. You know, we would like to see these ideal tickets, but what's going on is
May I see
you know-
the time, please? I'm sorry. Keep going.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I want to ask finally, in terms of the question about this happening now, news from the debates last night. Tell us again, only in terms of name, who is your candidate of choice for the Democratic nomination? And I want to start this time with Joe. Who is your candidate?
Trump?
Yes. Besides Donald, we understand you're going to vote for Donald.
Number one right now would be Amy Klobuchar.
Klobuchar still. And Klobuchar was very good last night in the
very
debate.
good last night.
She
She's
was
moderate, and she was measured in her responses.
You know, it's interesting to me. I just want to make the remark on Klobuchar. If she could break through that ceiling she seems to be at, she would be resignating. She's not.
She's not comfortable on camera. That's the problem. She reads as being too nervous, even if her ideas are exactly the opposite of Trump. She's literally the antithesis of him. Conservative values that build over time. Obviously, she's a liberal, but it's the opposite of Trump.
So you like Klobuchar so far, Josie? Who do you like?
Buttigieg.
Still the mayor.
Yep.
And you think he can be president of the United States?
He can be on the ticket for sure, but that's who I like.
president.
No one else is has my undying devotion yet, and you know what?
Did you cheer last night how strong he was, especially
Yes.
against Beto?
I loved it. And a matter of fact,
was-
he actually looked like a presidential candidate for once.
You know, I heard a very smart person this morning, and I will say Joe Scarborough, who is a Republican. He's
not a Republican.
Well, okay, pseudo-Republican, was a Republican congressman. Joe Scarborough said that Mayor Pete was really outstanding in the debate, because when Beto O'Rourke started, didn't everyone say, "Oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread"? And Mayor Pete just devoured him last night. And all of those people that immediately said, Beto, 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 that's it, have turned out so far to be wrong. So it's interesting to me, your observation. Who your favorite is?
Before I say that, just fun fact, also at the production meeting earlier today, the Republican tried to divide us on our own votes. He wanted us to each choose 3 people to try to siphon our own support from one person to the next. So I see your game, first of all. I see that. So
your choice is?
Yeah, my choice is Warren Buttigieg's ticket.
Okay, so Warren
is number one.
your leader. And,
Yes.
and Aaron?
Elizabeth Warren, definitely. I've known for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and Power?
I would love to see Elizabeth Warren. I really think that Joe Biden is going to be the one that America feels safest with. But
As the
my
vice
choice,
president.
my choice is Elizabeth.
Now, let me challenge you, because I think I hear, could be wrong, a little bit of flip-flop, and I pointed this out last week. Last week, you for the first time said Warren, and I brought your attention to it, because previously it had always been Joe. In clarity at this moment, in terms of what you want and who you like, who is who you like?
Who is who I like? Elizabeth Warren.
It is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Of course, we're going to continue watching this. Okay. I'm going to
You were
answer.
gonna do it.
You know, I said when I went to Warren's thing here in Miami, Elizabeth Warren cannot be elected president of the United States. And the reason Elizabeth Warren cannot be elected president of the United States is the organizational structure is not finite. And if she becomes the nominee, she's going to lose, because the Republicans are going to put her in a sausage grinder. Now, that's not hope. I don't hope that. I think Elizabeth Warren is very interesting. I'm fascinated about your observation. Mayor Pete is becoming a centrist, which when he started as the first gay candidate, the gay candidate is the centrist candidate in the Democratic Party. Oh, something interesting is beginning to happen. I'm starting to get a little tingly excited.
He might become a Republican.
That's
Doubt it.
All right, that brings that. We want to introduce you. We're going to move on out of happening now. We're going to move into a guest. We have with us tonight Renato Silva. He is the owner of G21 here in South Florida. We have done a couple of different programs about health and fitness, and oh my goodness, look at that picture. That is the epitome of health and fitness in the gay community. Renato is he's gay. He owns a very highly specialized fitness studio and organizational structure here in South Florida. And we have been wanting to do a health and fitness special repeatedly. So we've asked Renato to come on tonight. He's Brazilian. I like it already. And next week, we are going to broadcast It's Happening Out in the Middle of G21 with all of these beautiful people working out around us. And Renato is going to be a host of It's Happening Out on next week.
Y'all won't be able to focus on a thing.
No, not at all. We're already distracted.
I've got to work on my focus right now. And speaking of that, let me introduce America to Renato Silva. Welcome to It's Happening Out, Renato.
Thank you very much.
We are certainly excited that you're here tonight. Tell us a little bit about, first off, you're from São Paulo, Brazil.
São Paulo, Brazil, correct.
And America, you don't know this, but the largest pride event in the entire world is held in São Paulo, Brazil. You've been the last couple of times.
Yes, I've been there twice, and it's a lifetime experience.
Yes,
I recommend
absolutely.
everyone to go.
I have been, but I have not been to Pride. I've got to go. Renato, tell us a little bit in the gayest place on planet Earth what G21 is all about.
G21 bring the Fort Lauderdale to Wilton Manors like a little bit of everything. We do have group training. We offer personal training. Besides that, we do believe in the recovery part. So what that means? So everything relates to each other. So when you come into G21, you'll be able to do your group training. That's totally designed by science. So make sure that we break down the program in upper body, lower body, and HIIT classes. From there, you can go inside in the back building, and we offer personal training and the whole recovery part. What do I mean about recovery? Everybody knows today that today's science, we demand that your body has the time to recover. So at G21, we do have massages, we do have Stretch 101, we offer infrared sauna, we do have also cryotherapy, and right now we're bringing, trying to bring a chiropractor to work with us. So that means the whole process of fitness, that's like killing, so make sure the body gets the beat up that we can do right there as a personal trainers and group training, has the part as the recovery.
Renato, I want to ask the obvious question. If I come to G21, can I look exactly like you?
Of course, anyone can work. Anyone can work hard. It's about discipline and focus.
I'm going to be going to G21 tomorrow. One of his trainers, Ty, was on the show.
She's amazing.
And she was amazing. My goodness. She scared me. She was so good. I loved it.
There's no reason to be scared because we work as a family. G21 is a huge family, and we're there to serve our community. So we welcome. We'll be waiting for you there. We're going to do our best to make sure they look like me.
All right. Absolutely. Great.
Wait a minute.
Sales pitch I'm going to
Renato,
say yes to.
before you leave, I want to also, I know you're being really shy right now.
Yes.
But I happen to know a few very interesting fun facts for our audience, our viewing audience, that you're like one of the biggest philanthropists, visionaries, givers. We were talking about being givers earlier. And I mean, you're a leader in this community. Do you want to share a little bit about those things that you do outside of G21?
Of course. I truly believe that everybody should give back, especially like in the days of today. Whatever you can do to be in service of the community, bring us to a different level. And me and my partner, we open a foundation that we fight. We open a foundation in Haiti they call Renan Foundation. Renan, the main goal is prevent human trafficking, especially with kids in Haiti.
Awesome.
So that's my pro bono work. That's my giving back to the community. Right now, we do have over 400 kids under our sponsorship program in Haiti. And we provide the kids with education, medical and dental assistance, uniforms, and a meal per day. So we prevent those kids to go to the streets and become slaveries or human trafficking.
Well,
awesome.
I called you and your husband power gaze, but that really great.
Thank you. Great. Thank you very much. Commitment. Renato, my last question. I've asked the most important question for me. Can I look like you? So I'm coming to G21.
Yes, you can.
And from your mouth. Now I'm going to hold you to that. And then second, next week, It's Happening Out is going to broadcast. It's happening out right in the middle of G21. It's an illustration of the gayest place on planet Earth because his studio is only minutes from Bubbles and Pearls here on Wilton Drive. I'm curious, Renato, with all of the challenging things that you've done in community service, working in training, working with your trainers, etc., have you ever been as scared as you're going to be in sitting on a panel with these people around me?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm not like a person that loves to be on a camera. So I always try my best to try to relax. But next week, I'm going to do my best to be a great host.
All right. So, Renato, as good of a trainer you are and as fierce as you are, I'm going to be as fierce on you next week.
I'm looking forward.
As the moderator of this.
We are looking forward.
Ding, ding. The fight is getting ready to start. Renato Silva, we thank you very much, the co-owner of G21 Fitness. And tune in next week, America, because we're going to be sitting in one of the most unique health and fitness programs you have ever seen. Next week at It's Happening Out.
Thank you, Renato.
We're really happy to have you.
Guys. Thank you.
We're going to move into our headlines, many big headlines tonight that are interesting. First off, I know Joe is so sad on headline number one, and that is Shepard Smith. Now, most of the gay community probably have never heard of him because they don't watch Fox News. But this is the gold standard of Fox News, the chief anchor of the news bureau at Fox. He has resigned. We prepared this little thing for you to see about Shepard Smith. Watch this.
So recently, I asked the company to allow me to leave Fox News. After requesting that I stay, they obliged.
Long-standing anchor known for his independent voice on Fox News for over 20 years, Shepard Smith announced his departure on Friday from the network. Smith's critical coverage of U.S. President Donald Trump over the years has put the anchor on the receiving end of some of Trump's disapproving tweets.
I mean, if he's leaving, I assume he's leaving because he had bad ratings.
On August 7th, Trump tweeted, quote, "Watching fake news CNN is better than watching Shepard Smith, the lowest rated show on Fox News." More recently, on October 10th, Trump named Smith in a tweet that criticized the channel after a Fox News poll showed a slight majority of voters favoring his impeachment and removal. But in the end, Smith took the high road.
Even in our currently polarized nation, it's my hope that the facts will win the day, that the truth will always matter, that journalism and journalists will thrive.
A series of rotating anchors will host the 3 p.m. time slot until a new program is announced.
Well, big news for sure at Fox and for Republican voices. Lots of fighting between Shepard Smith and President Trump. President Trump tweeted about him frequently. Any thoughts here about Shepard Smith?
Even before President Trump, Shepard was really good from a news and a news broadcast perspective. He changed once he came out, and he started basically slanting his perspective.
What, towards facts?
Well, no, towards fake news.
Facts. So you admit that we're having some sound issues. Fake news at Fox News.
Well, with Shepard Smith, it was.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And I have to say,
why did he do that? I don't follow him.
I think because he came out, he decided that he could be the journalist with the opinion, like many of the other opinion journalists.
Well, you mean a journalist with integrity, which Fox News is not a place for anybody with integrity, certainly not a journalist with integrity. So to Shepard Smith, I say applause, and, good luck wherever you may go.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever you end up.
Does anybody think he's going to go to one of the major networks?
Absolutely.
Cable,
somebody else is going to.
It's going to be picked up.
Maybe he'll come to It's Happening
every
Out.
other Fox.
Wouldn't it be great?
Maybe he'll come to It's Happening Out and replace Al as moderator.
I was cheering right along with you, and then I get the dagger in the heart in the last second. All right, that's all right. That's all right. I love you, Power.
So, Shepard, there was a job offer for you.
Yeah, okay. Let's move into our next headline, and that is about Mayor Pete. He comes out in defense of Joe Biden and his family and the way they were being portrayed by the Trump ads. And Joe Biden responds via Twitter, and it gets us asking, and we kind of got to this in the discussion of the breaking news. Could Mayor Pete be a centrist vice presidential candidate with Joe Biden? Could you see that possibility? What do you think?
Absolutely. I called this early. You can ask my wife before Biden, when Biden was just contemplating whether or not he was going to enter the race. I said, and Pete came out. And I said, oh, Biden Buttigieg, that's going to be the ticket. Now, is that the one that I want? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not committed. I definitely want to see Mayor Pete on the ticket.
Does anyone think it's interesting that it would be one of the magic things that Joe Biden, being the institutional name of the Democratic Party, could bring a city mayor, a small city mayor, a gay small city mayor, and bring him in and him help make Joe a little cooler?
A millennial.
That's the goal of it, sure. I'm sure that they've planned on Pete Buttigieg having some kind of bromance from the beginning, because that's probably the fastest way for him to get into the mainstream audience and be seen as a person and not just a gay person.
I'm curious, what do y'all think? Mayor Pete and Joe Biden, is that possible, or we're just wishful?
I think it's actually possible. And I don't underestimate America anymore when it comes to, will America vote for a gay man? I used to think that Obama didn't have a chance because he was black. I was proven wrong. I used to think that
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I used to think Obama never had a chance.
No, that was not the thing. What did you say? It was the next sentence I wanted to hear again.
Oh, I used to think a racist could never be
No,
elected.
it wasn't that statement either.
that-
It was, I was proven wrong. I just love that phrase coming off your lips.
So, stranger things have happened, and I think maybe America might be ready for a gay man in office.
We're ready for anything except apparently a woman in office. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens there.
Yeah.
As Joe
Any thoughts?
smiles and laughs at that.
I'm giving you one last chance to come in.
I have many thoughts. Of course, I think it's possible. I think it's actually even probable. Not that I'm, condoning it.
You don't condone that type of behavior.
I don't condone
that behavior.
Okay?
Yeah. If Warren, I'm curious to your observation, because I know you're a huge Warren fan. If Warren, for whatever reason, becomes the Hillary Clinton-ish of the first time around with Obama, if that happens to Warren,
you mean targeting?
In terms of not getting to the finish line, could you see yourself supporting very enthusiastically a Biden Mayor Pete ticket?
Whatever happens in the primaries, I'm going to fight for or speak for or whatever who I believe in up to the primaries. Once we, as a Democratic Party, make that decision on who our candidate is, I'm going to back that candidate 150%, no matter who they are.
Okay.
I'm still going to, however,
so you're not
hold
going
them
to do what
accountable
you're not
and
gonna,
critique what they do.
So you're
and
not
say.
switching to being a Republican.
And you're not going to do what Bernie Sanders did to Hillary Clinton.
What did Bernie say?
Bernie Sanders did not really support Hillary Clinton
at all.
Probably it cost her 1 million votes. Now maybe, who knows? But he did
Maybe it
not
was in
support.
one of the emails.
Yeah.
It's a nuanced
Let's
conversation.
move on to our next headline that we want to talk about. The ex-Trump aide testifies in Congress this week about Giuliani and the UN ambassador pursuing the shadowed foreign policy. What do y'all think about all that's going on in the impeachment? It's getting deep, isn't it? It's way more than what it started out
It should
to
be, but instead the Democrats voted yesterday and Nancy Pelosi that they're not even going to push through for it right now. So instead, we don't get to see where that goes out, and we just have to wait for him to do something even more corrupt.
That's not necessarily how that works. That she said that they're not going to push through the argument or whatever. They're not going with it right now. She wants to make sure all of her ducks that are in a row, all of the facts are in place, and that it is as enforceable as possible. Let's not jump to, they're giving up. They're not giving up. They're being strategic.
I like that hope, but
it's also the fact that Donald Trump has proven to be a formidable opponent.
Terrible
and,
human
The devil has some strengths.
And what we're talking about is, he has the money, the resources, the team around him who will fight tooth and nail. If you go to court, you better make sure that your case against him is tight. And if it is not, then he's gonna make a mockery of it. And of course, the do-nothing Democrats, as he says, will be exactly that. And then his narrative will be true.
Don't perpetuate his language like that.
I want before I want to fold you in. Of course.
That's fine.
Before we fold Joe in, to your point, does anyone deny the fact that we may be watching one of the greatest political strategists of our lifetime? Donald Trump is proving it in spades. Who could possibly be in this position with all of the terrible things that we know are going on, but still be in such a great position?
Isn't
I
it?
don't agree with
Conning
that.
is a skill.
I don't agree
Conning
with
is a
that.
skill, and he's a
You
great
don't
con
agree
man.
with
No,
that?
I don't agree with that.
Why
I don't,
not?
I don't agree with that. I don't believe that he's a brilliant political strategist. I think that we are living in a state of stupid. That somebody that is that blatantly. I mean, when he lies, it's not even really in-depth, complicated, really good lies. It's just blatant lies, and we are living in a country of morons that actually believe everything. He spits in our face and tells us that that it's raining, and people believe it. So no, I don't believe that he's a brilliant political strategist. I think we're dumbed down.
If the Night King takes the entire realm of zombies, of people, and creates an army out of it to be able to fight back, it doesn't really matter if it's the stupid army that's fighting. He was smart enough to get the army to fight in the first place.
Well, I don't know if he was smart enough. He was just lucky enough to get a dumb army.
Guys, and we're giving him too much credit by calling
maybe-
him
Are
a
we?
brilliant political strategist. What we're looking at is a brilliant spinster, a brilliant con man.
Born into privilege.
You
A
know,
grifter.
and and that is very distinct from a political strategist.
For a moment, I'm going to fold you in, I promise. But for a moment, let's grant that observation, both of those observations are true. At what point, if he is one of the greatest grifters in America, does America go, that's enough, that is all?
Yeah,
Why
I
is
mean-
that not coming? Because there's no indication, really,
Because
that that's
there's
coming.
No truth
really?
To what they're saying.
Okay.
There's no truth. So you started with.
We laid a lot out there, didn't we,
No,
Joe?
You started with Ukraine. He put out the transcript. From the transcript, he talked about the 2016 election. The president of the Ukraine brought up Joe Biden. There was nothing wrong with the call. However, everybody else has implied lots of things from the call. Now they're implying there's two whistleblowers that they no longer need because they have the transcript, which implies in many ways that they're being caught with their pants down because it's come to light that they were in collusion with one another. But I want to go back to
Thank you for mansplaining that to us.
You want to come back?
shadow foreign policy.
Okay.
The president is the chief executive of the United States. He has sole responsibility for foreign policy and international affairs for the United States. He is not subject to oversight by Congress. There are three equal branches. They have the right to impeach him. They have the right to solicit for questions and comment, but they do not have the right to oversight. So you cannot say that there's shadow foreign policy going on. The president has the right to take anybody, the Secretary of State, the ambassadors, they all report from a foreign policy perspective, and he can take any individual, private or otherwise, and use them on a foreign policy
Your point
platform.
is clearly heard. Let's suspend the conversation to something that's super topical. That will be of argument, whether the president has this power to do it or not. But you're heard.
Wait a minute. Shadow foreign policy.
I'm watching the time.
That's
is
fine.
why I'm trying
Shadow
to.
foreign policy was enacted by Kerry when he went over to Iran and EU.
Let me change the subject.
negotiating When
I'm clearly
Donald
changing
Trump
the
was
subject.
president.
I
Kerry is the
understand.
president, just for everybody to
Okay.
know.
Okay. I'm changing the
Y'all,
subject.
y'all had 10 minutes and you gave me 60 seconds, but that's okay. Keep going.
If you have something else, then say it.
Go. No.
Okay? You didn't have something. I really dislike this strategy because the strategy is to say, you got 10 minutes, I only got 60. When I go, okay, I'll pause. No, I don't really have anything more to say. I don't like that
Because you wanna
strategy.
cut me off anyway. So keep going, Al.
All right, I will. That's my job as moderator, and I'm
Right.
doing exactly what America wants me to do.
And it's like being in the
Period.
cabinet.
Now, let's move to presidential authority. I'm curious from the observation you make. Syria is front and center now. everyone has said the president has made a fundamental mistake. They've talked about it through all of 2019 of what would happen with Syria, ISIS, Russia, and Iran. He did it anyway. What is your reaction about what's being said about him and what is going on in Syria? Because he has the right to do it, which is your point. I hear it loud and clear. But is he making dramatic mistakes?
I actually don't think he's making dramatic mistakes here. Turkey, Syria, Russia, Iran, and Iraq it's a very complicated set of countries with complicated past, and they're enemies of one another. What we have to realize is with Turkey, just step back for a moment, Turkey has 5 million Syrian refugees in the country, something that is tearing their economy apart. And that's one of the president of Turkey's biggest issues, is their economy is falling apart because of the refugees. So repatriating the refugees faster than what we were able to do with the Kurds was one of his objectives. Do I think he's gone too far? Yes, because there's a natural hate between him and the portions of Syria. So he's gone too far. I don't know how you bring it all back, but a part of that was also the fact that the EU would no longer take or repatriate prisoners, and the United States was stuck with taking care of 12,000, some say 30,000 prisoners.
Okay, well, we're going to
have a way to get off the.
Unless y'all want to jump in, I'm keenly concerned about time. But if somebody else wants to jump in,
no.
All right, we're going to talk about Syria extensively, not tonight. It was just something that comes up from the standpoint of the president. Your point is the president has the power to make decisions in foreign policy, and it may or may not be subject to oversight, which is the point that...
And when we do talk about Syria again, I would like for this time, Jared Curry, you can roll what he said back, because I will address that. And I won't be cut off.
Okay.
Tune in next time.
And I get this on both sides.
I understand that we have to move on, but I really want to have a deep discussion about Syria and slay this bitch.
All right. Okay. All right. The last thing that we want to do tonight is we want to bring back in some of our friends that have appeared as guests at It's Happening Out. We close out tonight to talk about our anniversary of the first year. As we said at the top of the show, we make the joke that our first show, 69 people watched. On Thursday, 813,000 people watched. It's Happening Out. Right. Plus 69 people. Right, exactly. So we want to introduce some 4 guests that we really love at It's Happening Out. First is Jamie Forsythe. Jamie directs at WMEG here in South Florida. And that is the Wilton Manors Entertainment Group that coordinates the very important Stonewall Pride here in South Florida. We have with us DJ Citizen Jane. And DJ Citizen Jane is the founder of Hialeah Pride. They just had their super successful Hialeah Pride on Sunday in the 4th most conservative community in America. And then we have David Quinones with us tonight. And David is a great representative because he is the director of the Gay Vista Social Club. And we're fascinated with his organization, and It's Happening Out, because he is literally creating a new type of social environment for the gay community outside of a pure bar or Grindr platform, which we love. So David is with us. And finally, somebody we love. I went to their ball. I watched Pose. Power has helped educate me on this community. Before I came down here at It's Happening Out, I had no idea this community existed, and that is Alexis Lords, the iconic leader of the House of Lords here in South Florida.
Welcome, everyone.
And so we welcome all 4 of you. They've been guests and hosts at It's Happening Out. Good evening to all 4 of you, and thank you for joining us tonight. Jane, I want to start with you, Citizen Jane. Tell us real quickly, what has your experience been in conjunction with It's Happening Out and what you did with Hialeah Pride over the weekend?
It's Happening Out. First of all, happy anniversary for your successful show. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Woo! It's growing and it's doing really well. It's Happening Out was a great supporter, a huge supporter of Hialeah Pride this year. They supported us our steps down to the day of the Hialeah Pride, and they were there supporting us that day full force, and we want to continue this partnership because you guys are amazing.
Jane, I couldn't help but notice. I went. I was with Napoleon. I was with Josie. You had the most beautiful Latin men on stage that I think I have ever.
They wondered where I disappeared to for a few minutes.
In fact, I was standing next to Alexis Lords while that was going on, and it was like, damn, I really like Latin men. I don't know what it is. Hialeah, man, you just have it there. It was quite exciting. You were on the stage and played. It was so much fun. What kind of reaction did you get being the fourth most conservative city in America? What kind of reaction did you get with this second time around of Hialeah Pride?
It was amazing. We had close to 11,000 this year.
Awesome.
It's going to keep growing. It was we got great feedback from everyone. It was great. It was, like I said, it's very emotional to see it continuing to grow. And like I said, Hialeah Hospital put their flag up, which was the first time a flag has been put up in the city of Hialeah. So we're making strides.
A major metropolitan hospital in this very conservative community raises the rainbow flag along with the American flag and the Florida flag.
How was the wedding?
Complicated.
Okay.
It's a long story. Jane, congratulations. I also, at the same time, want to fold Jamie in. Jamie Forsyth is with the Wilton Manors Entertainment Group, coordinates for the city of Wilton Manors here in Fort Lauderdale, Wilton Manors, and the host of Stonewall Pride, the major pride here. And we broadcast live right on Wilton Drive over our shoulder of we brought that parade to the nation. More than 100,000 people watched that parade in our broadcast. Jamie, tell us a little bit about your experience this year in the 50th anniversary of Stonewall. What was that like for you?
Well, it was an exciting time for us. I mean, it was great. We had a theme of remembering the past, celebrating the present, and committing to the future, because we really believe that we have to look to what we're going to do and leave for other generations. It was so exciting for us to be part of the future by having It's Happening Out actually broadcast the parade live. So that was the first for us. Really, really exciting. Looking forward to next year. It's going to be a 2-day event next year.
Great.
So that is, we're growing, and it is absolutely fantastic. And it's because of people like It's Happening Out and other media partners have really helped us step up our game and get a little bit more of the publicity we needed. So
yeah, excellent. Congratulations, Jamie. It was so important this year in Wilton Manors and in Fort Lauderdale for Stonewall Pride. I want to bring in next David Quinones. David came to our attention because he is the president of the Gay Vista Social Club. Now, it seems to me, David, you have the best job on planet Earth in that you get to plan events for men and potentially women, and you get to do all of these fun things. Tell us a little bit about the Gay Vista Social Club.
And the best part out is Latino boys there too.
Don't tease me, David. Don't tease me.
It's facts. Facts
Yes.
are facts. So with the Gay Vista Social Club, we do weekly programs and events. We are geared towards the gay, bisexual, and queer community. And our mission is always about building friendships, social engagement, and meeting new people. So when you think about it, every week hosting an event is a lot. I mean, there's organizations who have something, every quarter or once a month, but we do something every week. And now we recently launched in Fort Lauderdale with our pop-up and out events. So this weekend we actually have a Miami event and a Fort Lauderdale event. Miami, we're doing a Casino Royale game night, which is all James Bond 007 theme, with a mini Las Vegas buffet, make your own martini bar, cabaret performer.
Cool, wow.
And then on Saturday, we're partnering with Outshine Film Festival. We're hosting for the 7th or 8th time the Men's Spotlight film. With a film called From Zero to I Love You, and we're also having an after party at the Ritz-Carlton. So I've been telling guys,
Now,
been to the Ritz?
America, you can clearly see why David is so good at being the president of the Gay Vista Social Club, because he's going to tell you all the stuff that they do.
Happening. Cool.
I have to say, what's interesting to It's Happening Out and why we have supported the Gay Vista Social Club is, of course, we know we have the bar environment and the traditional platforms for the gay community, and then we have our social media platforms. Ever heard of Grindr? We have that. But Gay Vista does something in between, and that's what caught our attention of being unique. How is the more personal attention of social interaction? What do you think about that in terms of what's going on at Gay Vista and how that could be replicated in the gay community all over the country?
I mean, the whole reason why we were founded is to get people meeting face to face. I mean, we live in a digital world
To
where
touch each other. My goodness. What a
Don't
wonderful
do it. Don't do
idea.
it. Don't do it.
With permission.
With permission.
Let me comb your hair. Let me touch your shirt. No, it really was founded on the fact that, it's a way for people to meet other people and make friends face to face. I mean, like you said, there's Grindr, there was Gay.com, there was Adam for Adam, there was Manhunt, there was all these different apps that existed back then, but it really wasn't a way for people to meet each other outside of sexual norms. So it was a way to say, hey, we're having a picnic or a barbecue, come over, make some friends. We've had people who've met their partners, people who've met boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, anything can happen. But at the end of the day, our mission still stands. Whether you go to one event or you go to multiple events, you're going to make a friend out of it.
David, to that point, when It's Happening Out started 1 year ago, I don't know if Power or Napoleon, I certainly could not have ever envisioned that we would help propel an organization like the Gay Vista Social Club, in that their mission was our mission. We're completely different, but our mission is to find gay culture and gay community. We do it one way, and we can embrace the Gay Vista Social Club in doing it a completely different way. One last thing that we want to say about Gay Vista. In this coming year, both to Jane's point at Hialeah Pride and to Jamie's point at Stonewall Pride and to David at Gay Vista Social Club, we are going to continue our commitment of all of us to them, of our gay community. And I'm going to do it next Wednesday because I'm going with David and his entire crew as we do a bus trip down for the weekend to Fantasy Fest in Key West.
Oh.
And so we're going to have a whole weekend of debauchery and just fun. And,
So I'll take over for G21 next week.
Yes,
Ready to go. I'll
that's
be good
right.
for it.
And last
You
but
gotta
not
go.
least, one of our hosts that we folded in was Alexis Lords. And Power brought this part of gay culture and gay community to us. Power, tell us a little bit about Alexis Lords and the iconic House of Lords.
I'd rather talk about me.
That's funny because Alexis would say the exact same thing about you.
Oh, well, the House of Lords started to help create the entire Florida ballroom scene along with 3 other houses. My house, the House of Righteous Shade, the House of Infinity, which I'm the mother of, Alexis, the founder of the House of Lords, and a house called the House of Eccentrica, the 4 founding houses. And how long has it been? 20-something years, and we're still here. And we've opened up a huge playground from 100 other houses. And Alexis is not only doing it in the ballroom scene, but in our mainstream club scene, really being the bridge between ballroom and our gay community.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
hats off to you,
Awesome.
Alexis.
Alexis, I'm curious how Napoleon and Josie and I came down for your ball. We had a fantastic time.
Thank you for
I
attending.
said
Very
to
unique
Alexis at Hialeah Pride, I'm thinking about walking for the House of Lords. In which competition it was?
Executive Realness.
Executive Realness.
Can we please make this a thing? Everyone now deciding that, please.
I think that would be fun. Alexis, tell us a little bit about what the future of the ballroom scene is and the iconic House of Lords.
Well, thanks to the show Pose, ballroom scene has actually been on the limelight right now. We're actually being exposed, something that we have been underground for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to artists like Billy Porter and Angelica Ross and MJ, they're giving us the platform that we truly fought to be able to really recognize upon.
Mm-hmm.
And the ballroom scene is thriving right now. As a matter of fact, this past weekend, they had a ball up in New York where the House of Mugler threw a ball that they had the first time ever a $10,000 category.
Wow. Sponsored by Rihanna.
Exactly.
And she was sitting right
Rihanna.
there. Rihanna was sitting right there on the panel.
Awesome.
Wow. Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome.
And we're very excited because we struggled for the last 25 years here in Florida to be able to bring ballroom alive. And thanks to so many of the LGBT community that have actually embraced and has given us the opportunity. And I want to thank CJ right here, right next to me, because we were one of the performers on Sunday at Hialeah Pride. And we had a chance, myself, Father Roger Lords, because I'm a grandpa now,
Congratulations.
and Mother T.P. Lords, we brought 20 of our kids, and we gave Hialeah Pride one of the best showcases they had ever seen.
Nice.
Alexis, I have to. Alexis has just stolen my soundbite because as I hung out with him at Hialeah Pride, and he tells me his update about what House of Lords is doing and what's going on, and we talk about me competing in executive realness. I'm going to do it, by the way.
Please.
I'm going to.
Yes.
Alexis tells me, and I out him, but he's outed himself, that he is now the grandfather of the House of Lords. You've been around a long time in the gay community when you're admitting you're the grandfather of the House of Lords.
Well, yeah, but he's always going to be the founder. And being a founder, especially here in Florida, means you're a pioneer. And so, once again, round of applause to Alexis.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And to this point, one of the things that I'm very proud of, and I know all of the hosts sitting here are proud of in celebrating our 1-year history, is look at this picture that is sitting in front of you. This, yes, is South Florida, the gayest place on planet Earth. But this can be New York or Pittsburgh or San Francisco or Palm Springs, or it could be Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yep.
You are looking at 4 faces: DJ Citizen James, Jamie Forsythe, David Quinones, and Alexis Lords. They all work together and support each other in their gay community. So we find gay community and gay culture in these 4 faces. What could be a better celebration of 1 year of its happening out? Woo. We congratulate all of you and continued success in your endeavors, and thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much.
All right, America, that is our show. Last week, we had a Wednesday show with 580,000 viewers, a Thursday show with 813,000 viewers. In 1 week, 1.3 million views.
Wow.
2,000 shares.
Thank you, guys.
Thousands of likes and engagements. How could you possibly salute gay culture and the gay community better than this lead up to our 1-year anniversary?
You owe us all a cruise now. I'm pretty sure. We
Right.
get 1 million.
He still owes me a RuPaul doll from forever ago that I'm never going
I
to
have
get.
many of them, by the way.
Where is it?
All right. So we close our show like we have forever and ever, and that is with some food. And I believe we're getting ready to have my friend, I was going to say boyfriend, but I'm going to say my friend, Thomas. Thomas, come over here. This is Thomas from Jets Pizza, and he is a delivery boy in South Florida.
By the way, later, I've still not gotten any closer than a
I think by
person.
now he's part of the cast.
Yes, and we say we have a 7th cast member, which is Wilton Drive, the gayest place on planet Earth. We actually have an 8th cast member, and that's Thomas, the delivery boy from Jets Pizza. We're happy he joins us every week. Thomas, this is our 1-year anniversary.
1 year.
Did you buy me or bring me flowers or anything?
Oh man, I forgot that.
Did
I'll
you?
have to be on the next delivery.
A typical straight man.
Oh, don't insult him like
Maybe next anniversary.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
next
we're going to have some wonderful Jets Pizza right after. You take that right over there, and we're all going to celebrate here at Bubbles and Pearls. That brings our show to an end, and we close every show with really the important voices at this show are the people sitting in front of you. Our show, in my opinion, has grown in our 1-year anniversary because of 2 commitments. One commitment is to you, America, to bring you as much diversity in conversation, to show you the gay community's diversity, to find gay culture.
Very true.
The second reason is to give you as much diversity in the face that is delivering it as possible. Look at the faces around you. There could be no greater diversity. We in the gay community are not one thing. We are everything. And to say goodnight, we're going to start with Joe Brookman.
Good night, family. We love you. Stay tuned. Come back and see us.
and to my friend Joe Broden, my friend Chef Josie.
Good night, kindness. We know you're out there. Ellen needs it. We all want it. We'll see you next week on the show.
And to my, Bubbles and Pearls, and my friend Napoleon Plays.
To all of you Broadway buddies, when we said to the pizza man a moment ago, hey, we have our 8th cast member. If you were thinking of the 4th Dream Girl member, I'm with you right there, only here on It's Happening Out.
And my friend Aaron Phoenix.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And to everybody who represents all of the other letters on the Q+, I'm glad you're watching, and I hope you'll keep up with us.
Very nice. And to my friend Power Infinity.
I would like to say a special good night to not only the viewers that have supported us all year, but to those of you every single week since day one that have been in our feeds, that have responded, that have engaged with us every single week. I don't even want to start calling out names because I'm sure I'll forget some, but thank you, thank you, thank you. You did this, so keep it up. We're going to be here for you.
America, we have a lot of naysayers. We're celebrating tonight, but we have a lot of naysayers. And it's interesting to me that we always in the gay community do not cheer our success. Tonight, after 1 year at It's Happening Out and its very primitive start, we celebrate our success tonight. And to our naysayers, we're doing our best to bring you an exploration of finding gay culture and seeing if gay community exists. We hope from mayors to CNN to HRC to the most beautiful images of the leaders in our gay community, you saw it tonight. Because if you did, that is our anniversary. And we hope, America, you continue to tune in on year 2. Because if it's important to you, it's happening out. Good night, America.
Good night.